9 TV cookery series, 7 recipe books, 3 children's books, a novel and a memoir. Nadiya Hussain has come a long way since her self-confessed shy and timid stint in the Bake Off tent 7 years ago. But for her latest project, she's returning to her humble beginnings as she pays tribute to her oven. Here she is. Please welcome Nadiya Hussain.
We all want cake now. In my world, it's always cake o'clock.
I mean, have you
brought a cake with you?
I know. She gets that wherever she goes.
This poor woman cannot go everywhere with a cake.
I go to the airport and they're like, have you got cake? I'm like, I've had it before. No.
Oh, but the cake looked gorgeous. Your daughter looked gorgeous. Is she keen to get involved?
She loves baking. She loves baking. My eldest loves cooking. My second son hates being in the kitchen, but he's good at dishes. So it works.
Great.
It works. We have balance in our house, but she loves it. She loves it. Yeah.
And do they love everything that you make or bake or cook?
Yeah, I mean, I say that. Like, I don't get invited very much to anyone's houses, apart from my sisters, who happily have me round. But when they come over and I cook something, they're like, I'm like, I am no longer on a baking show. You don't get to judge me. Be quiet and eat it. But yeah, they do. I mean, if they don't like something, they'll say, but, you know, they know better.
Yeah.
But how does your daughter feel? Obviously, you're in the next episode, your daughter's in the next series, should I say. Was it a conversation between you, or did she say, Mummy, I want to be involved?
She's very familiar with the camera. I think because when I won Bake Off, my boys were 8 and 9, and for them, they knew me before Bake Off. They knew, whereas for her, she'd just turned 4, and she didn't know. She doesn't remember me before Bake Off, so for her, it's kind of her world. Yeah. And she loves it. And she's been on Les Mis, and she did Les Mis, so she loves being on stage. She loves it all. She thinks it's wonderful.
And how has it changed you? Because Kay was just saying in the link there about, you know, you were this shy little thing on Bake Off, and, you know, has it enhanced your confidence, do you think?
I think doing this kind of thing, it really, working in this world of, you know, media and publishing in the public eye, like when you've got panic disorder like I have and PTSD, it definitely doesn't help. You have to learn to manage it differently. So I think for me, I've learned to manage it differently. The struggles are different to what they were before I did this, but I love what I do, and that's what gets me out of bed in the morning.
Do you often have the feeling of when you're offered something, is your first thought to say no, almost, because it's scary, isn't it, putting yourself out? And I mean, when you were asked to make the cake for the Queen, it's one of those where you might think, oh, wow, what an amazing thing, but at the same time, you almost don't want to do it.
I thought it was a hoax. So when they told me, and I thought it was a hoax. I said, this is a joke. They just take it. This isn't real. And then there's moments where I'm like, oh, I don't want to say yes, and then I'll say yes, and then I regret it, and I think I'm doing the wrong thing, and it's second guessing yourself. And I think the thing I've learned about myself is that I have to almost put myself in those difficult positions to know that I can come out the other end, and know that I can achieve them, and that's something that my kids have grown up seeing, which has been lovely.
Really good for them.
Yeah,
and it went really well.
And also know that you deserve those things. You know, you're here for a reason because of the talent that you have. I know you said you second guess, but do you ever think that that's a part of the fear or any kind of like insecurity?
You know, I used to, whenever I used to do new things, I used to always say, oh, you know what, you're really lucky. My husband says, you know, you're not just lucky. You have to actually work. You have to work to get to that point. And you know you're actually really good at what you do.
We love your husband.
He's good. He's a good egg. But I have learnt to say, actually, I am good at what I do because I know any man in my position would have to work a lot less hard. He would. He would. I have to work 10 times harder to do this, so...
Well, you mentioned your husband there.
I was going to say, talk about your husband, because obviously, just before you came on, we were talking about Married at First Sight.
Yes.
This, obviously, you didn't meet him on a TV show, but you did pretty much meet him the day you got married.
Married at Second Sight. Yeah, we were, yeah. So we got engaged. The first time we'd ever seen each other, we got engaged, and he didn't give me a ring, he gave me a really ugly bracelet, which I sold and bought a car with. 7 days after getting married, yes. I did.
Well, it was ugly, but it was good gear.
It was good. Exactly. It was the real stuff. And we got married on the second day that we had actually physically seen each other.
How did that feel?
That's why I like Married at First Sight, because I get it. You know, like I get. You know, when I can
And when
see.
it doesn't necessarily, when it's not instant, they've decided to work at it.
Exactly.
Was that the case for you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 kids, 2 years later, and it was like there was a moment where I was like, oh, I like him. I like him. I suppose we did it the other way around, where we courted after being married and there was no getaway.
Yeah.
Couldn't ghost him.
Yeah.
He was there. Couldn't do any of that.
I mean, your husband, actually, if you don't mind me saying, is very handsome. But what was your first impression when you saw him for the first time?
I was definitely attracted to him.
Yeah.
I was like, he is absolutely...
Did you inwardly go,
Yes! Fully high-fiving myself. And I remember looking out the window and saying to my sister, oh, he's actually quite good-looking. And she said, he is. And I was like, go and get a good look. And so my sisters were in there getting a good look. It was wonderful.
But how terrifying when you pull that curtain open.
I know.
You don't know what you're going to see.
I know. I was lucky because I saw photos. But, I mean, yes. And he's aged well.
Yeah.
Is that your mum and dad that chose it? Was out?
It was between sort of my mum, my dad, myself. We spoke to each other for 6 months, but we lived so far apart that we never actually met. But I was obviously a very sensible 19-year-old because I kept asking him. Yeah, so I kept asking. I asked him questions like, you know, what's your 5-year plan, and you know, how much do you earn? How much do you earn? You know, all of that stuff.
Did you ask him if he could do a good foot massage?
Check this out. So when I was pregnant with the kids, I couldn't reach my feet, so he would moisturise my feet for me, and I've got brown skin.
Steady, Judy.
Yeah,
Steady.
I know. So I need heavy moisturisation. You know, so you don't get ashy.
Yes.
Yeah. So he would moisturise my feet for me, and that stuck. It stuck, and I can reach my feet, but I still kind of stick them out, and I'm like, here you go. Go and moisturise them.
really?
Yeah, he does still moisturise.
Writing this down.
Right.
Yeah. But of course, it wouldn't lead to anything, as Nadiya, other Nadiya says. That's the first time I've seen you.
Don't think that's appropriate.
That's the first time I've seen her looking embarrassed.
Let's talk about food.
Yeah. Well, listen, I've got the book.
Yeah,
and it is
book.
an homage to the oven, isn't it? But it's not just cakes, it's baking, but not just cakes.
Absolutely, it's everything. So I grew up stovetop cooking. My mum did not use the oven. It was all about sticking. She used to, like, use it for storage, so frying pans and things like that.
I do that now.
We're not supposed to be going backwards. We're supposed to be going forwards. But this is all about baking. You know, I didn't grow up in a house where we baked, and so it was really important for me to do a book where we do everything in the oven. So we've got recipes in there. You've got biryanis, you've got noodles, you've got pasta. So you can use...
In the oven?
In the oven. You can do it all. And cake. And, like you saw, cookie pie. So you can pretty much do everything in the oven. And I know right now everyone's thinking, you know, like, if I'm going to turn the oven on, how do I make it efficient? Get loads of stuff in there. Like, you've got shelves. So bake lots of stuff at once. Stick it in the freezer, use your microwave, use your air fryer to reheat. So you can use the oven and make it efficient at the same time.
And there's something in there called cheesecake bars.
Oh.
They sound a bit nice.
Oh, my God. Are they?
Can I put them in the freezer? Can I batch make them?
You can batch make them, you can slice them up, you can wrap them up individually, stick them in the freezer. I use them as a way to, like, keep the kids' packed lunches cool, and then they defrost by the time they get into school, and then they're delicious.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
You've just made me feel like a complete failure as a mother.
again,
Get yourself a packet of crisps. Well, listen, Nadiya's Everyday Baking. Of course, there's an accompanying television series on BBC Two, 8:30 on Wednesday nights.
Yes.
So there you go.
oh, it's so nice to see you.
Yeah, honestly.
Really
we've missed you.
Yeah,
we walked
we
up when we
Can
came
we just
in.
say he must have looked up at the window and thought, yeah, I did good too.
You're right.